All right, let's rationalize this. Let's simplify this. I say rationalize because the denominator is a radical. It's not a perfect square, so I can't just find the square root of it. This one, as I go, you may notice some things, a shortcut. I will talk about that towards the end. But so far, what we've learned is that in order to rationalize the denominator, I need to multiply it by 1. All right, and the form of 1 I want to multiply by is whatever the denominator is. So root 18m over root 18m. All right, and this gives me now that the numerator I multiply straight across, that will give me root 90m over 18m, root 18m, root over 18m. That gives me root 324 m squared. I'll write that off to the side here. But this is a perfect square, being it turns into 18m. So the shortcut is, if I'm multiplying two radicals that are exactly the same, it'll just turn into that. No radical sign though, okay? And now we have been done in the past, but now I want to look, root 90. Root 90, I know there's an m, but that 90, is there a perfect square factor in there to simplify it more? Of course there is. 9, so the top two become root 9, root 10, m. Now I'm going to leave the m attached to the 10 because 10, that's not perfect square, neither is m, so they can kind of stay together. All right. That root 9 turns itself into a 3. I'm going to bring it down to here. All right. Root 9 becomes 3. I have root 10m. All of that is over 18m. All right. So what I did was I had to then simplify. Once I multiplied by my 5 and my 18, I got 90. And that can be simplified by breaking down into root 9 and root 10. Root 9 is 3. Root 10m stays root 10m. And guess what? I'm still not done. What else can still be done here? My gosh, this is forever ongoing. I forget about the radical for now, and I just look at the 3 over 18. I know it has an m, but 3 over 18, that's like a fraction, 3/18. If I have the fraction over here, 3/18, can you simplify that? I'm very hopeful that, yeah, you can make that into 1/6. So this now becomes, that 3 simplifies down to a 1. I still have root 10m. That 18 becomes a 6m. So realistically, I don't even need that 1. All right, I'm just showing you what the final answer should look like. Root 10m over 6m. Now, maybe going through your head is, you have an m here, you have an m here. Can they cancel each other out? Well, actually, you don't. This m is a root m. It's the square root of m. It's not the same thing as 10, just like this isn't 10. This is the square root of 10. So I can't simplify that, treat that as a 10 and a 6 and make that 5/3. I cannot do that. That is not a 10. It's a square root of 10 and a square root of m. So this is going to be my final answer. All right. Now, as I said earlier, there is a shorter way to do this, of course. If that way makes sense to you, the way we just did it, great. It does take some time, step by step, going in order, but let me just show you another way in the same video on how we can make this maybe a little bit shorter, but it involves true understanding. All right, root 18, from the get-go, root 18, can I simplify root 18? Meaning, is there a perfect square factor that goes into 18? Yeah, this can become root 9 and root 2. And I still have this root m there, all right? So root 18m can become 3 root 2m. All right, so I'm going to rewrite this as root 5 over 3 root 2m. All right, so root 18 is the same thing as 3 root 2m. Now to rationalize this, I don't need to multiply by 18. I just need to multiply by root 2m. I don't need to multiply by that 3 because that 3 is already rational. I only need to eliminate this root 2m over root 2m. And look what happens when we do this. Root 5 times root 2m gives me root 10m, which if you look up here, there it is, root 10m. Over, now comes root 2m times root 2m gives me 2m. But up here I had 6m. What's up with that? Don't forget about this 3 that we factored, that we were able to pull out earlier. 3 times 2m, or just 6m. So there's two different ways to rationalize the denominator. You can just multiply by the denominator over itself, or you can kind of take a sneak peek. Can I break that down smaller earlier and make the numbers a little bit smaller?